Hello and welcome to InfoHub. Eid Mubarak to all our Muslim brothers and sisters. Here is what you need to know for today, Friday, June 15, 2018. The UK remains strategic partner with Guyana, says President Granger. Government task force meets staff and management of Oldendorf carriers. Youths can access funds to make a positive change in their communities, and investigations underway into a natural gas eruption in the Diamond Housing Scheme. We begin with President David Granger's message to Guyanese on Eid al-Fitr, which marks the end of the holy month of Ramadan. The head of state said, Eid al-Fitr reaffirms the values of perseverance and self-denial practiced during the holy month. It reminds us that our sacrifices yield personal and spiritual benefits. Eid al-Fitr is time for coming together, an occasion for us to show compassion and kindness towards our fellow citizens. Eid al-Fitr, in this regard, strengthens the human ties within our society. It promotes care and consideration towards each other. President David Granger reaffirmed that the United Kingdom remains a strategic partner and sounded the government's appreciation for its support for Guyana's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Details from Stacey Carmichael.
President David Granger last evening at a reception held in celebration of Queen Elizabeth II's 92nd birth anniversary expressed confidence that the strong ties which exist between the two states will be strengthened in the years ahead. He also expressed gratitude for the UK's support in debt relief and for the anticipated benefits under the UK-Caribbean Infrastructure Fund.
The UK, through the Department of International Development, has provided assistance to Guyana in the fields of agriculture, aquaculture, disaster relief, education, economic competitiveness, governance, law enforcement, trade facilitation, water supply, judicial service reform, public sector reform, and, as you heard, security sector reform.
The President said that the Queen is held in high esteem by the Commonwealth and reiterated Guyana's commitment to the Queen's Commonwealth canopy. British High Commissioner Greg Quinn said apart from security sector reform, much more will be done this year.
Significant UK funds are being committed to the security area, but also to broader development areas. That includes over £2 million of UK assistance last year in areas such as achieving scholarships, surveying the approaches to Georgetown Port, and helping with certification of the seabob industry. There is also over £61 million of DFID expenditure committed to Guyana over the next 5 years.
The High Commissioner added that British security expert Colonel Rusal will be in Guyana until March 2019 to transition the reform process to one that is Guyanese-led. Minister of State Joseph Harman, Minister of Natural Resources Raphael Trotman, Minister of Social Cohesion Dr. George Norton and other top officials were in attendance at the event. For InfoHub, Stacey Carmichael.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs in a statement today said that the issue of persons in Ikariku who are claiming to be Guyanese who have returned from Venezuela and are claiming land is not a straightforward case. The ministry was responding to an article published by a section of the media. Cabinet has mandated the requisite ministries and agencies to investigate the matter. The ministry said while government is committed to ensuring the rights of our indigenous peoples are respected, none of the persons in question have been able to prove their citizenship to the satisfaction of immigration authorities. Without this proof, they are not entitled to enter Guyana without permission from the relevant authorities. In such a case, there can be no claim to assets in Guyana. Since the ministry is unsure whether these persons are Guyanese or whether they actually hold Venezuelan citizenship, the ministry also cited security and other legal issues arising from the persons claiming land where gold is being mined without proper documentation. The task force set up to look into the future of Rusal, Guyana following sanctions on its parent company met with staff and management of Oldendorf Carriers, Rusal's transshipment contractor. Tiffany Rogers was there and filed this report.
Minister within the Ministry of Natural Resources, Simona Brooms, and her team met with a handful of Ollendorff workers after what she termed a disappointing and disrespectful management meeting. Minister Brooms assured the workers the government is working to ensure they are protected from the fallout of U.S. sanctions against Russia aluminum, Rusal.
Your rights will be protected. It has to be protected. Yeah? So there's no if and buts. Regrettable, we welcome all the companies and things like that. It's a sad news for them, it's a sad news for us. That does not mean that we will allow our people to go down.
Rusal Guyana is a subsidiary of Rusal and a major shareholder in the Guyana Bauxite Company. Ollendorff is a contractor of Rusal Guyana. The sanctions prohibit persons or entities from doing business in US dollars with Rusal. Ollendorff says it will be winding down its operations in Guyana by October to meet sanction deadlines. Some 200 employees are employed by Ollendorff. Minister within the Ministry of Finance, Jaipal Sharma, also gave assurances to the workers.
There is the Severance Pay Act, Termination of Employment Severance Pay Act of 1997, which we're going to ensure is fully complied with. So your benefits will be paid.
Minister Brooms will be facilitating a meeting between the workers, Labour Department of the Ministry of Social Protection and union representatives to better address worker concerns in the coming week.
With senior videographer Kwesi Wishart, I'm Tiffany Rojas, reporting from the New Amsterdam Selling in Berbice for InfoHub. Daddy! Thanks for staying with us. Guyanese Dr. Arif Bulkan has been elected to serve on the United Nations Human Rights Committee for a term of 4 years from 2019 to 2022. Dr. Bulkan, who co-founded the University of the West Indies Rights Advocacy Project, holds a PhD in law from York University in Toronto, Canada, and a Master's of Law from the University College London. In January of this year, Dr. Bulkan was sworn in as an acting Court of Appeal judge. Following the publication of the tobacco packaging and labeling regulations on May 26, the industry now has until February 25, 2019 to comply. Delicia Haynes met with legal consultant Cassandra Alves to learn more about the Tobacco Control Act.
Attorney at Law Cassandra Alves said that packaging and labeling regulations allow for 60% of the package to bear graphic pictorial health warnings provided by the Ministry of Public Health. The other 40% is left for branding.
Whatever information the tobacco industry puts on that 40% must not be advertising and it must not be misleading. So the tobacco industry would not be able to say that this is a low-tar product, this is, anything that gives the impression that one tobacco product is healthier than another will not be allowed because that is misleading packaging and labeling. There's no safe level of tobacco consumption.
The Tobacco Control Act of 2017 also indicates that all cigarettes shall be sold in an undamaged package containing not less than 20, while smokeless tobacco products and loose tobacco shall be sold in an intact package containing no less than 20 grams.
Consumer should know about the health effects of a product that they're using. So it has a lot to do with consumer rights. It has a lot to do with the prevention of youth initiation to tobacco products. I mean, it's harder to get someone who has started smoking to stop smoking, but our hope is that especially young people, when they attempt to buy a tobacco product and they look at it, they're scared off by these images. And of course, the Act requires that tobacco products cannot be sold to any person under the age of 18.
Refusal to comply with the labeling and packaging requirements can result in a maximum penalty of $200,000 for businesses and of $9 million for the tobacco industry. Public sensitization campaigns, spearheaded by the Ministry of Public Health and PAHO WHO, will commence shortly. This will be done to familiarize the public of the implementation of the regulations and the harmful use of tobacco products. For InfoHub, Delicia Haynes.
With millions of dollars available for community development, young people are taking the opportunity to get a piece of the pie through the Youth Innovation Project of Guyana initiative. Isaiah Braffett tells us how.
Young people can access up to $2 million to create solutions to issues within their communities using STEAMs, that is, science, technology, engineering, agriculture, anthropology, archaeology, arts, architecture, mathematics, and spirituality. Director of Sports Melissa Carmichael Haynes said that close to 100 proposals have been submitted thus far.
Thus far, we have 93 persons on board. These 93 persons, the trainer mentors have been working with to develop further their proposal or their ideas. One of the challenges that we have is that while young people generally have ideas, it's very difficult for them to put it on paper. So we have trained persons to assist them to do that.
Of the 93 proposals, only 9 are completed. However, the youth director explained that mentor trainers are working diligently with the young people to ensure their proposals are feasible.
Young people have been calling in to us. They have been asking for assistance to put the proposals, put their ideas on paper. So the word is certainly out there. Young people are interested. The ideas are wonderful. They have a number of ideas that propose great solutions to community problems. We're hoping that once that process is done, we get to share these ideas with the general public so that they can see young people do have an interest in developing both country and community.
Carmichael Haynes anticipates over 200 proposals to be submitted before application closes on June 30th. Isaiah Braffett for InfoHub.
Maintenance works by the Mahaica-Maikoni-Abari Agricultural Development Authority are being stymied due to poor rate collections. Here are the details.
MMA's general manager responsible for the administration of West Berbice State Lands, Aubrey Charles, said that the continued non-payment of rates by leases has caused curtailing of services provided for farmers and others over the past year.
What has happened during last year and to some extent this year, we have to cut back on the work, the maintenance work that we were carrying out in the 3 areas, mainly because the collection, the rates collection from farmers did not match the operational costs or the maintenance costs to do so.
Charles said the income from rates collected are way below that which is required to execute recurrent works. This, he said, can have a long-term negative effect on the services being provided.
We had to pay contractors to the tune of $14 million for each cleaning period, and that cleaning period is 6 weeks. We had to pay our contractors $14 million in total. Now, 3 cleaning period gives you $42 million. But the charges paid by farmers amounted to $20-something million.
According to Charles, the matter was discussed at the board level, and the decision was made that only the primary drainage and irrigation network will be maintained. He added that as funds become available, the secondary D&I network will be attended to, with attention given to areas where farmers are making payments. For InfoHub, Alexis Rodney.
Various agencies and oil companies are conducting tests to determine the level of natural gas from a domestic water well which erupted last night at the Diamond Housing Scheme. Head of the Environmental Protection Agency, Kamraj Parsaram, said that the preliminary tests have revealed that there is little presence of methane in the air. Officials are urging caution, particularly with the use of fires, smoking, or cooking in the surrounding homes. Check InfoHub's Facebook page for more details. Here now are your bridge and weather reports. And finally, here is your weekend World Cup match schedule for Super Saturday when Argentina play and the mighty Brazil take the field for the first time on Sunday. Goodbye.